Here's the thing most people don't want to admit. Right now, at this exact moment, money is quietly leaving your account, and you have no idea where it's going. It's not because you're careless. It's not because you're bad with money. It's because your brain is being played. Let me ask you something a little uncomfortable. If I asked you to name every single subscription you are repaying for this month, could you do it without checking your bank app? Most people can't, and that's not an accident. That's by design. Think about the last time you signed up for a free trial. It felt harmless, right? One click, no effort, no pain. Your brain loves that. Psychologists call this frictionless commitment. When something is incredibly easy to start, your brain treats it as unimportant. You're not really making a decision. You're just clicking a button. But here's the trap. Canceling later requires effort, attention, and a little bit of discomfort. And the human brain is hardwired to avoid all three of those things. So you put it off. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week quietly turns into next month. And suddenly, that small, insignificant charge is no longer small. It's permanent, and it's adding up. Pause for a second and think about this. Companies don't need you to love their product forever. They just need you to forget about it. Forgetting is far more profitable than satisfaction. If any part of this already sounds familiar, hit that like button and subscribe right now. Because what you're about to hear isn't just motivation. It's the actual science of how your brain works with money. Most people never learn this, and it costs them thousands of dollars over their lifetime without them ever even noticing. So, how does this happen? Your brain uses something called mental accounting. You don't see money as one single pool. You mentally label it. This is rent money, this is food money, this is fun money. And subscriptions? They fall into a very dangerous category: background money. They're small enough to ignore, they happen regularly enough to feel normal, and they're invisible enough that they don't trigger any emotional reaction. A $12 charge doesn't hurt like a $300 bill, so your brain's alarm system doesn't go off. But multiply that small charge by 10 or 15 different services, and you're bleeding financially. Slowly, quietly, and painlessly. Here's a real-life pattern I see all the time. Payday arrives. You feel that wave of relief. For a moment, it feels like things are under control. But a few weeks later, on a random Sunday night, you open your bank app. The balance is much lower than you expected. Your chest tightens just a little bit, and you start blaming things you can see: groceries, fuel prices, inflation. But you don't notice the quiet little row of subscriptions sitting right there, unchanged, untouched, and completely unquestioned. Psychologists have a name for this too: payment fragmentation. When the financial pain is divided into tiny, bite-sized pieces, our awareness of it completely disappears. Another powerful trap is the default effect. Humans are not active decision makers by nature. We prefer to stick with whatever option requires the least amount of effort. That's why subscriptions auto-renew. It is not just for your convenience. It is because companies know that most people will not take the extra step to interrupt it. Once a payment becomes automatic, your brain stops evaluating its value. You're no longer asking yourself, is this really worth it? You're just letting it exist in the background. It becomes part of the financial noise. Then there's emotional attachment. And this one is particularly dangerous. Some subscriptions don't survive because you use them. They survive because of who you hope you'll become. You know what I'm talking about. The language learning app you open once a month. The high-end fitness app you swear you'll start using next week. The online course that makes you feel productive just by owning it. This is called aspirational spending. You're not paying for the service itself. You're paying for a future version of yourself. And canceling it feels like you readmitting failure on that future self, so you just keep paying. Over time, this creates a powerful and false illusion. You start to feel like you're just bad at saving money. You think life is just too expensive, but the truth is much harsher. A significant portion of your money is locked into past decisions that your brain has literally forgotten making. You are actively working to pay for commitments you no longer consciously choose. You're funding a version of your life that doesn't exist anymore. Now, let's talk about solutions. Real ones, not just motivational fluff. First, you have to force awareness. Once a month, sit down and manually list out every single subscription you pay for. Don't just rely on an app that conveniently bundles them up and hides the emotional impact. Write them down on paper. Seeing the total cost in one place triggers what psychologists call loss realization. And that little bit of pain, when you use it correctly, creates powerful clarity. Second, remove convenience. Go into your accounts and turn off auto-renew wherever you possibly can. When renewing a service requires you to take an action, your brain is forced to stop and reassess its value. That friction you felt when you first signed up? It works both ways. Use it to your advantage. Third, use the 1-week rule. If you haven't actively used a subscription in the last 7 days and it is not absolutely essential for your life or work, cancel it immediately. Not later. Not after you think about it for a while. Right now. Usage is the only honest metric of value. Everything else is just a story you're telling yourself. Fourth, replace identity spending with reality spending. Ask yourself one brutally honest question. If this service charged me weekly instead of monthly, would I still keep it? That smaller time frame magnifies the cost. If the answer is no, then you already know the truth. You don't value it as much as you think. Finally, set a hard subscription limit for yourself. A fixed number of services you're allowed to have. 5, 10, whatever feels right for your budget. When your list is full, something has to go before anything new can come in. This simple rule puts you back in the driver's seat. You become the gatekeeper of your own money again. If this video made you mentally open your bank app and start scrolling, do me a favor and comment "I checked" down below. Share this with that one friend who always says they re-broke but can never figure out why. And if you want more psychology-backed truths about money that lead to actual changes in behavior, not just temporary motivation, make sure you're subscribed. Your money problems aren't random, they're predictable. And once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.